You. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Are you in university? Do you feel like you could be doing more? Well, then this video is for you! Full disclosure, this video is going to be just an absolute banger. In this video, I'm not going to be talking about why or why not you should join a startup. That is a decision that is more personal to you. I'm going to leave a link below that can help you with that decision. What I will talk about is a framework that I like to use as sort of a checklist. It's called the 4P. 4P! Perspective. Probably one of the biggest shifts you can make in the way that you think about starting like a complex initiative, right? Because starting a startup is a pretty complex initiative. However, it can be broken down into a manageable framework. If you just start thinking about your startup as not a startup, but a side project that you're starting, it feels a lot easier to get started, you know? When you think, oh, it's a startup. First of all, I think most of us get the definition of a startup wrong, right? Startups by definition are meant to scale. Startups equal growth, right? If any of you have read Paul Graham's essays, right? Having that perspective shift makes it easier to, in fact, start a project that can eventually become a startup, right? You wouldn't want to start thinking about, oh, I need legal, I need accounting, I need finance, I need this and that, you know? Keep things simple, just focus on the first step, which is essentially the next 3 checklist items that I'm going to be telling you. The second P is people. More specifically, there are 2 kinds of people that you need to care about most. First kind of people is your team. First kind of people, you might want to head to the library, Y Combinator library, and check these 2 boxes, which says co-founders and people. Right? So you're just going to find all sorts of good stuff here, right? For example, how to split equity among co-founders or how to work together. You know, it's all very specific. So really good stuff right here. Check it out. Everything is really well labeled. And the second kind of people is your user. Okie dokie, we are getting technical difficulties. So just know for the second kind of people, you would want to check this box which says customers, right? So your discovery journey of your users and your customers is probably the most important, repeatable thing that you would want to do, right? Like you want to keep rediscovering your users, your customers, because you want to see who your lead users are, your extreme users, your true fans, right? You want to know if these people have that problem, how intense is that problem, how frequently are they having this problem. Ideally, you should be the one that should have the problem. And this is a good segue to our third P. So the third P is problem. I hate kids. I don't like kids. There's going to be a whole lot of shouting, guys. You want to have an absolute idea about what problem is it you're solving, not the other way around, right? You don't want to have a problem that you don't have the right idea, because having the idea doesn't matter. Everyone has ideas. Everyone has a lot of ideas. People have a problem finding the problem. You hear me? Right? I think we're all kind of just like trying to find this magical idea, but it's just not going to happen. It's not true, Ideas are worthless. Whatever you've thought of has been thought of before many times. It's probably been tried before. So see how other startups have tried to solve your problem, right? And focus on the problem. Don't focus on the idea. I highly recommend watching this video by Kevin Hale, which talks about how to evaluate startup ideas. Here we go. P number 4. I think you've probably just figured it out already. P number 4 is product, right? That's the last thing on the checklist. You see how the thing that you want to sell is not the first thing you should care about? Of course, right? Because you cannot start with the product. You cannot start with the solution. You cannot start with the idea. You have to be focused on the problem, and it's going to take time. It's going to take time for you to build the right product that solves a lot of people's problems, right? A product that people love because they were able to get something done because of the product. And so, that phase getting to product market fit is just, you have so many changes, so many iterations. It's probably going to be years before that happens, especially like if you're in university. You're probably not like going to build the next big thing right away. I mean, you could, I guess. I don't want to demotivate anybody, but it takes time. Maybe you watching right now are much more capable than I am, or a lot of statistical other number percentages are, but most likely it's going to be a while, until you build something people love, until you build something that actually solves a real problem. So just make sure that for product, you are really focused on the discovery journey. Talk to users, understand that problem, and don't build like these, grand schemes of what the product is going to look like, and don't build like this big product roadmap that requires you to get funding and requires you to wait for like years before you launch, right? Or months even. You would want to launch ASAP. If you go to productframeworks.com, you'll find a bunch of different frameworks you can use either for design, discovery, prioritization, and strategy. You'll find a lot of good frameworks that real companies, real startups use, basically phase out the product journey, right? To think from product discovery and to actually implement to product delivery, right? So pretty good resource. You can check it out. I'll leave a link for this website down below as well. And that's it, guys. If you haven't watched my last video already, you should click somewhere here. Thanks, Ben, for editing this video. Give them a little fire here. Here!